they're not taking people though because of what's going on. But I actually have to do a podcast right now, believe it or not. If you could we turn the music down a little bit?
Hello and welcome back to the HVXgoat podcast. Today we have quite the guest ahead of us. We had Denim Cox the other day on the show, and this guy hit me up right afterwards. And you know what? I was so excited for this because I've wanted to talk to this guy for quite a while and just never really sent him a message. So, I'm happy he reached out. We're going to switch things up. Typically we have riders on, but today we're going to have a filmer. And, some of his video projects include the OSS video, All the Smoke, Lightning for Breakfast, Monster Mash, and he films with some of the biggest names in BMX, such as, Denim Cox for one, Tony Malouf, Brandon Began, Ethan Corriere, and then, he's also known for, puking in 5 different countries and flipping vans and, all that jazz. He is also the #1 search result when you look up Fat Kid BMX fail on YouTube. And that was, I think, 9 year streak. So that's pretty rad. Sauce, how are you, my dude?
Oh, I'm cold. What's going on?
Not too much. So let's jump into why we're a little late here. What's going on there?
Well, me and old Denim decided that we'd take this car we got for free, Eddie Quello, we happened to get his old car for free and thought, you know what, no better day to jump it 70 feet and end its life than today. So we made our way out here to the 951, about an hour away from Orange County, and Denim launched it on camera about 70 feet, straight nosedive, and blew up the radiator, shocks. It doesn't steer anymore. And with the help of dirt bike riders that just happened to be passing by, we grabbed a couple tools and some zip ties and got it fixed just enough to pull it over to about a mile over to the road, and called the tow truck, and they just picked it up. But because of the damn coronavirus, we can't get inside with them. So we had to call an Uber. What's your name, man?
It's Cam. Or wait, Uber driver.
My man Anthony. My man Anthony from Classic Sound. I'm in the backseat of his Audi right now, and we got about an hour drive ahead of us.
Oh my God, that's hilarious, man. This is seriously probably the best setting for a phone call podcast ever. That's hilarious. Like here in Toronto area, it's 10 p.m. I'm just hanging out, drinking my last beer for the night. Like, just had dinner. You guys are out jumping fucking cars and shit. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, the 99 Ford Explorer, 2-door sport. So, it's real capable out there.
Well, it's a sport.
And, on top of that, it's orange, too. We damn near painted a #1 on the side and made it look like the General Lee earlier today. But, time was ticking. It was going to get dark. We had to get out here.
I really think that if you guys would have done the #1 on the side, probably would have made it. I think that was, the one factor that was holding that car from, its true destiny.
It would have the one on the side.
Oh man. So let's go way back here, Sauce. When did you get into BMX riding?
Let's see here. My good friend Jamie Amundsen Jr., his daddy came over to my house one time to fix my garage door, and he brought his son along, and he had a bike with him. Or no, he might have had a skateboard, one or the other. And skateboard, a bike, whatever it was, and we started messing around in the front yard. From there, I started hanging out with that kid every day, and through him, I kind of met just about everybody that ended up being the Common Crew. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where it started, and without him, I don't think any of this would have happened. Any of the BMX stuff, at least.
What's so crazy?
Big. What was that?
What's so crazy is that like the Common Crew has some of literally the best riders in the California scene. Like it's crazy to see that you guys were all just kids at one point with bikes.
Oh man, I if we hadn't gone and jumped this car 70 feet today, I have all these throwbacks from the very first video we ever put on YouTube in like 2007 or 8. And I cut out little short cuts of them, and I was going to throw them all up on Instagram today. But, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like Jacob Cable, for example, you could watch his first ever fakie off of a wall.
Wow.
On a complete fit bike. And it's pretty nuts. It's been documented from the very, very start. So I don't think a lot of people can say that, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. I think what's cool about that too is that if you do put this stuff out there, for a lot of kids that like look up to those riders, they're going to see that, like they were at the same point they were at one point, which is like, I think a lot of people can relate to that,
Oh, totally. I mean, all those videos are still on YouTube. You can find them, but I just don't think many people know they're out there. So it was originally going to be like a turn of the century type of thing. I was going to post them all like January 1st or whatever, but I don't remember what happened. I got busy, whatever. There's so many damn videos. It took me like probably 8 hours just to save all the ones I've done so far, and I think I only got to 2016. So I figure whatever, I'll just start posting them, and I'll get to the other ones later.
Well, I can't wait to see some of those, man. That's going to be awesome. Or, just at least the Instagram stuff.
I'll throw them on the story and do the little swipe up feature too. That way everybody can go see the actual, original video.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Oh, man. Did we talk about what your first bike was?
No, it was first real bike was a 2008 Fit Amp, I believe.
Damn, yeah. It wasn't even that long ago that you got started then, eh? Like 12 years ago, probably?
Yeah, probably 12 years. Yeah, about 2008. I mean, I'm only 22 right now, though, so I was 10 years old then.
Yeah. Yeah, that fucking seems about right. For me, I got started like almost 10 years ago as well, actually. Well, like 10 years ago.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, to kind of timestamp it, my first video, which I remember vividly in comparison to the bike, was Insight, which I believe was like 2008. And it had like Dakota Rose, Chester Blacksmith, who else is in there? Jared Washington, Sean Burns, maybe, something like that. I haven't watched it in forever, but mostly just remember being obsessed with Dakota's part.
Yeah, Dakota's part was awesome. Denim and I were talking the other day about Dakota Roche's Fit Life intro, where like he tries to 180 over that rail and catches and like lands on his face in a puddle. Like Dakota's always come out with like really, really good video parts.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite riders of all time. If not the best rider of all time, because not only because of his actual riding, but I mean he's like our hometown guy, in Huntington. Always banging the city growing up, so we were definitely rocking with him.
Yeah, absolutely. It is crazy that he's from Huntington too, like it's not very, at least around here, it's not very often that you get to see like huge mega pros that grew up riding where you ride, like we have John Heaton around here, Drew Bezanson, but he's more Nova Scotia, like he grew up there and he does like live in Toronto now, so close enough.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's a lot like Dak's intro in Inside, actually, where he says something like living in California, you see all these these spots from bike videos and skate videos, and you roll up only to get kicked out, and you got to come back, blah 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 blah, and for me it's worth it. And then the song starts right there, and come to identify with that later in life once we started driving around, hitting all the spots that he was referring to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit that he was riding, like even when he was a lot younger. It's crazy to see that like his style has only, I feel like certain pros, they definitely have like an arc, like they get really good at 1 year and then they start to slowly decrease. Whereas like Dakota Roche, Garrett Reynolds, all these like big name pros only get better every year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason they're cashing legit checks and everybody else is making $500 a month, right?
Oh, absolutely, right? Oh man.
Those guys got no chill. They've been on an upward trajectory for since they hit the scene. So for sure, you can definitely separate the men from the boys very easily.
Oh, absolutely. So let's get started on how you got into filming. So do you know what camera you started out with, and what really, told you that you had to start filming, I guess?
I don't know. You notice that you weigh 50 pounds more than everyone else, and your progression is going at about 1/4 the rate of everyone else's. So you ask for a camera for Christmas, and now you're the filmer.
It took you
and to be honest with you, 1/4 is probably generous, or maybe like 1/16. They were 360ing off ledges before I could hop up a curb, so it was pretty apparent that I needed to find a new job real quick.
Oh man. Well, I think the thing I love about BMX most is that, like, for somebody like yourself, you're a pretty big name within BMX, and we don't see very many clips of you ever. We see all of your footage, but I love the fact that BMX is so, like, I guess accepting of that, where, like, we don't really care how great you are. Like, if you're providing content or you're doing something within the BMX world, people are going to stand behind it,
For sure. You can find your spot wherever you land, whether it's working in a warehouse or going pro or shooting photos. I wouldn't suggest shooting photos nowadays, really.
Yeah, everything's about video now.
There's always a place for everybody,
Yeah. Yeah, how did you feel about, like, when magazines really started to die? Because, if you only got started 12 years ago in riding, I feel like with filming and whatnot, probably didn't really see much of it. Like, I only have a handful of BMX magazines, and I really don't read them anymore. And, like, with the rise of social media, it kind of makes sense on why these, companies ended up going under. It sucks, but I don't know. As a media creator, what do you think?
I mean, it's not just BMX; it's everything.
Yeah,
magazines, they're destined to die. So it's sad, and I wish, more of my friends, or maybe any of my friends, could have got a cover. But it is what it is. We knew it was coming, and I'm glad that Ride gave us a big old article in one of their last print issues. So, we caught the tail end of it, and we got a little bit of shine in there, but. We saw the writing on the wall long before they closed up shop,
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of knew that it was going to happen.
I mean, of course, and I'm pretty into business stuff too. So as much as I love the magazines, and I got them when I was younger, and I would read them anytime one landed on my doorstep. I mean, from a business perspective, I mean, it's not a charity. You're trying to make money, so. I totally get it.
Yeah, exactly. So that actually brings me to my next point here. How do you make money as a filmer? So for yourself, like, you've done work with Fit and obviously OSS and a couple other companies as well. How do you go about getting a paycheck as a filmer or a photographer?
Don't. Well, get one just because you're not worth nothing. But I always, from early on, even shooting my first video, I told myself I'm never going to rely on this for money. This will be my fun thing to do, and I've always had a little bit of a hustle mindset, so I was always able to make it happen on some other front, money wise, and the money from the videos is just cherry on top sort of deal. But like I said, definitely got to charge them regardless. If you're established and you're filming the right people, then don't give your shit away for free, but don't rely on it either.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, especially in the world of BMX and skateboarding. Like, a lot of these companies, they don't make that much anyways. Like, I guess certain ones definitely make a ton of money, but I don't know. My thoughts is, like, filming and whatnot is great, and you are doing it the right way, where you're doing it as, like, a side hobby, and, filming these big pros, that ends up paying for a lot of your camera equipment sometimes, I think. At least that's how I would feel in the situation.
I mean, dealing with VX is most of my little career, if you want to call it that here. Constant upkeep, sending them back and forth to my VX doctor. So at the very least, they would pay for that. And sometimes, you need a little money. I never had like a real 9-to-5 job or anything. I just kind of had my hustles here and there. So the money definitely came in handy sometimes. But just please, God, just don't rely on it. That you're gonna be in for a rude awakening if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. So you talking about your VX doctor there, this brings me to another point that I had directly under on my script, which is so funny. But, you filmed SD for quite a while, and then you got on the HD train with the last video that I saw, and a couple other ones, I believe, as well. What do you prefer? Do you prefer filming with like a VX or an HD camera?
100% the VX. I don't think that'll ever change. The only reason I really started doing HD stuff was because I was working for Fitness Men for a little while, and they obviously needed HD stuff. So, I just picked one up for that, and when it came time to do that OSS trip too, I just asked Alfredo, do you want to do it VX or HD? I prefer VX, but, you're the boss here, so you tell me, and ended up going HD. But I gotta stop with these goddamn ums. I'm just gonna pause instead. All right?
No, absolutely.
It's pissing me off. Listening to me. I just did it again. Anyway, I might not be able to fix that one on a split second. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even my call. If I never worked for Fitness Men for that brief period of time, that's no problem.
Yeah, my thoughts on like filming with tape and whatnot is when I filmed my first DVD on tape, and it just wasn't like my thing personally. Like I really liked the look of it. I wasn't very good with my camera at that point, and I think the cameras that I bought were just not the greatest condition at that point either. And when I
Did I sell them to you?
No, you did not.
All right, that's good to hear.
Yeah, right. No, the cameras
that make sure mine are in good shape.
Yeah, I actually, dude, I was looking through your Instagram trying to do research for this, and like you've sold quite a few cameras that all look like they're almost in perfect condition.
Yeah, I've that's always been a little side gig because on Craigslist and stuff they don't sell too good. But I know I have like the perfect follower base to sell VXs, so that was always a cakewalk to just go buy them from some grandma out of her closet for $100 and then, make a little on the side.
Yeah. And what I find so crazy is that like, I don't know if it's just because where you guys are, you're able to sell them for a decent price that's actually fair. Whereas like around here, the cheapest HVX that I've ever found was $600, and I bought that one. Like the rest of them have all been like $1,200, $1,400, and it's like a 12-year-old camera at least. Like it's not worth that much anymore. And I think that people just don't understand that. Like even the HVX that you sold on your Instagram was like $400, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember what that one was. Usually the VXs are like, if it's a 2000 or a 2100, like somewhere in the neighborhood of $300 to $400, depending on how good a condition it is. And then for a 1000, like $500 to $700, depending on condition. But anyways, I cut you off there a couple minutes ago. What were you saying about your first video?
Yeah, my first video just wasn't. I just didn't really like filming with tape very much personally. And when I switched to the HVX, I just felt so much better because like you still have that tape camera feel, but it's HD sort of. It's all like interlace footage for the most part, unless you're doing 720p on it. But I found that the HVX is like, there's a reason why my fucking production company is called HVXgoat. It's because I love that camera. Like it's literally the best camera that I've ever had. But
yeah, no, next in line for me, if I couldn't use a VX, would be an HMC, which is, same family as HVX.
Yeah, exactly.
I just like the fact that the HMC has memory card slot instead of P2 cards.
Yeah, the P2 cards are a fucking pain in the ass. I bet all the kids listening to this that have no idea what we're talking about are just like so blown away.
Well, anybody listening, if you ever have an option to go SD card or P2 card, go with SD every time. That's my advice. The goat here might tell you different, but I'm going to say SD card will save you a lot of headache.
Yeah, a lot of headaches, a lot of money. The P2 cards are even to this day ridiculously priced. Like they're so expensive.
That's another thing I totally forgot about. Yeah, they're like a 16 gigabyte one is like well over $100, isn't it?
Yeah, I found one recently, a 32 gig, and the guy was willing to sell it to me for $75. But with the coronavirus shit, I can't go and pick it up from him. He wants to ship it to me. And I just feel a little strange about it because he's just some dude off of like Facebook Marketplace. So I'm like, I might just go and fucking pick it up at some point instead. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh man, hey, you're making me feel bad. I'm that guy on Facebook Marketplace.
No, I think it all depends on the person, right? Like with you, at least you've got like a lot of credibility. They can see that you're doing stuff within like, big film projects. Whereas this guy, it's like, I've never heard this guy before. He said that he did like skate filming or BMX filming, and he's like pretty local guy, so I should know who he is. But
yeah, that's funny. But I just did it again. God damn it! I was,
dude. Whenever I like listen,
I'd go down to your local Best Buy and I get a 128 gigabyte goddamn SD card and call it a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think if I did have to switch, if I couldn't use the HVX anymore, God forbid, I would. I'd probably do an HMC. Those are really nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know a damn thing about this if it wasn't for Frankie. He was the one who broke into the HD space, or at least real cameras HD for us, and I ended up using his HMC a bunch. So that's the only reason I know anything about Panasonic.
Yeah, I really love Panasonic stuff, but enough rambling about camera gear and whatnot. Let's jump into some of the like stuff that you need to learn as a filmer. So, how long is too long for somebody trying a trick in your opinion? Mine is always like it's as long as they need. Like if it takes 3-4 days of filming 4 or 5 hours each day, as long as they get it by the end of it, it's all worth the fucking time. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. I'm on the same page there. I don't care. They're the ones. I mean, you're both going to battle, but it's their deal. I'm just there to capture it, So
yeah, exactly.
However long they need. I mean, sometimes it's apparent though that like, okay, maybe you aren't ready for this, and maybe you talk them into going to a smaller rail or something like that, and go, we'll come back here if it's pretty obvious that it's not going to happen anytime soon. I've done that a couple of times, but for the most part, when they can do it, I never question it. I just stick it out with them.
Well, also on top of that, it's not just that you're trying to talk them out of it to save your own time. It's the fact that like you as a filmer have a responsibility to say, hey, like you're a very good rider. However, I don't think you're ready for this particular thing. Like go to a smaller rail, come back to it. Today might just not be your day. And, doing that could actually probably do a lot for a person. You never know if they're going to take a really, really bad bail and like really fuck themselves up. So I always try and do that if I can tell that it's not the person's day or if it's just not what they're capable of doing at that time, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Same deal on my end. And if, even on like a more tech trick, you can just tell it's not there on certain days, and I won't say anything, but in my opinion, it doesn't hurt to make the suggestion like, hey, what about this spot, and maybe they hadn't thought of that yet.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. So how do you keep somebody in it till they land it though? Like if you're trying to motivate somebody on to, just stay and that they can do it that day, is there any particular things that you'll do to keep them at it, I guess?
I've never really experienced that too much. I keep saying so I'm gonna give up on that dream. But I don't know, bribery mostly.
That's a really good point because I constantly hear you guys like in your videos, like I'll buy you a fucking 6-inch sub or whatever. Like I love it. Oh, and that
bribery, insults, sometimes encouragement, but not usually.
Dude, the fucking insults that you and Denim throw at people is hilarious. I was watching a clip off your Instagram of Trent, like trying to do this trick, and you guys are just fucking talking mad shit to him across the street. And like, I don't know why, but I absolutely love it. Like, it's just so funny to me because like you guys both know that he can clearly do it, and like, I don't know, he seems like the kind of guy that's not going to get too heated about you guys, like, bugging him, but.
Oh, I know exactly the clip you're talking about. And that, he just has an irrational fear of that because it was so easy. We could clearly see he'd do it. And his good friend Chase Kolecki was there too. He's also in there talking shit to him. And I mean, it was just clear as day that he could land it. So we just insulted him until he sent it, basically. And somehow that video blew up too. It has absolutely no, like video value at all. Really, it's just the sound in the background. I have no idea why, but on my little Instagram, it went crazy on there.
Yeah, absolutely hilarious. There's a couple more. Like, there's one of you and Denim and a couple dudes at El Toro, and you guys are just talking shit to Denim. And then I think you guys bribed Adrian Shreds to double bar spin it, and like he pulled it, of course.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh, I didn't remember that one. That's a funny one too. Yeah, Denim should have tire rode it. He couldn't pull through, right, Denim?
I'm the biggest pussy I know.
Jesus.
Sitting next to me in the Uber, but I think we were bribing him to tire ride the El Toro rail, and he was scared then, and he's scared now. No, that's intimidating, but the rail ain't shit. I mean, it's under cock height easily. So he easily could have done it, but, some kid I follow on Instagram that rides for Mutiny came in and did it later that year. What's that kid's name? Rides House Park all the time? I don't know. I forget. But yeah, somebody ended up doing it shortly after there. So with the timetable we're looking at on filming videos, it probably would have came out before ours did anyways. But he's still a bitch. Not the kid who did it, Denim.
Yeah. Dude, it's actually insane that somebody fucking tire rode that rail. And progression in BMX has just been insane lately, too, because with Adrian, you see him double bar spin it, and then he went back and tried to do... Was it him that tried to do 180 bar down it as well?
No. What's that kid's name? I think his name's Max from Arizona.
Okay.
He tried to 180... No. Max Miller tried to do it, and then there's another kid named Max who I believe tried to 180 bar it, too. But now that spot's pretty dust, so I don't know if we're going to see that one.
Yeah, you guys actually went there and checked it out right after they rebuilt it. What's it actually like in person? Like, photos can only do so much. Like, is it almost impossible to ride now? Because I know they put giant gates up at the top, but it looked like those were, gone pretty quickly.
I mean, if you cut the lock on the gate, and you took some Quickcrete to all the little cracks they put up there. They're like, I don't know what you call them, but before like a crosswalk or something, they'll have them. Not the big yellow motherfuckers, like just the little cracks in the sidewalk. And if you took some Quickcrete up there and you did the top and bottom and you cut the lock, it's still doable. I just don't have any faith in anybody in BMX at least going there and doing that.
Yeah, I also feel like it would just be a little bit like it's so strange that you'd even have to put Quickcrete over it because like on a bike, obviously you can just ride through it, but like I think it would probably fuck you up, especially the way that they're set up. Like I saw a photo. I wish I had the photos pulled up on my stream here, but if you guys are listening, go to Sauce's Instagram and it's a couple posts back. I know that, but yeah, it didn't look too bad. Like you could probably still ride the rail if the lock was cut. maybe, but like gapping it seems kind of, I don't know.
It's definitely still rideable. I just think, at least some of my friends might complain about those cracks, but you take somebody from the Midwest there, they wouldn't think twice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got Denim there. He might be bitching out, not wanting to tire ride it because there's cracks.
I don't think Denim would have a problem with the cracks, but I don't think he wants anything to do with
highly
that
doubt
stair
it.
set.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, and it kind of seemed like he wasn't really down with that stair set anymore. I can't believe, there's been a lot of crazy shit there. What do you think was the craziest thing ever done?
Notice I didn't say there. I paused.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself. Let's see. Craziest thing ever done at El Toro. Probably Garrett's infamous double truck to table that I heard all about before Deadline came out.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm just kidding. We had all these rumors flying around SoCal before Deadline came out, though.
I know. I'm like,
Garrett did double full cap bar or something down El Toro. Oh, he nose block barred off a 2-story building. Blah 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 blah. But obviously, those didn't quite come true. But let me think of a real one here.
Garrett did fucking grind up it to 180 bar out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a hard 180 bar up it.
Yeah, but, that's fucking wild.
I wish you could have been at Van Skate Park listening to the rumors flying around before that video came out. I mean, I heard the wildest shit and believed it at the time because we had built it up so much in our heads. I would have believed anything. Like, oh, double truck to table? Yeah, I mean, he must have really been holding back on all those other videos put out. He's saving his best stuff for this. That's probably possible.
Dude, and the crazy part about that is just imagine fucking Garrett is at the park randomly and some kid is I gotta know, did you do double truck to table? I wish Garrett was the kind of guy to be well, guess you'll find out, but I feel like he's, I don't know, pretty humble. He'd probably just be no, that did not happen.
Yeah, he's such a straight shooter and very humble, so I don't know how he'd take it, but I've gotten to know him a tad bit over the years, seeing him at contests and Johnny Rakes and Lewis and all them being sponsored by Fiend. So, matter of fact, Denim just reminded me, he was in my room one time. Garrett motherfucking Reynolds has stood in my room and watched a video.
That's fucking crazy.
That might be the highest notch on my pole right there.
I think
Garrett
it might
Reynolds
be
in my room.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy, actually. He's just checking out your video. What video was he checking out? What were you guys working on?
I think it was when I made the Fiend video, or Rakes' Fiend video.
Nice.
Where he does the Smith nose double bar at the end.
Oh, that's sick.
And we were probably halfway done with it or something. He just happened to be up there. He was picking up Rakes to go film something in San Diego for a few days. Something like that. I can't quite remember. But I saw my opportunity, or Rakes maybe wanted to show him, and we got him in that motherfucker.
Hell yeah. There you go. So we got Mason Patrick in the chat. He says, "Hey, Sauce." Mason, have you been in my streams before? I feel like you have been. But yeah, moving on from that. So there's a clip that you posted recently of Max Miller doing a truck driver down this huge 4-block. Do you want to tell us some of the behind-the-scenes stuff on this clip, and I'll pull it up for the stream?
Yeah, let me think here. Well, that spot, it's in Huntington, and I had been taking people there for 7 or 8 years probably, trying to get somebody to do anything down it. And no takers for years and years and years. Denim once pedaled full speed at it with intentions of tobogganing it, but thank God a priest intercepted him, because toboggan is the worst goddamn trick in the world, especially when Denim's the one doing it. I mean, he is a sloppy motherfucker. So thank God that priest intercepted him. It's at a church. He just happened to run out of the temple or whatever the fuck you call it and grabbed him before he jumped down it. So almost got one back then. That was probably 6 years ago. But since nobody would step to it, finally took Max there just to look at it. And he goes, "Oh, no, I'll do it right now." Yeah, we can just do it right now. And I'm like, "Max, there's a fucking 4-inch crack right in your hopping zone." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess we should go get a piece of wood." So we go to my house, grab this teeny piece of wood, and he mentioned this might be a little narrow for a truck driver, but nevertheless sent it because he's 17 and he hasn't learned his lesson yet. So went for it and got the 3, I believe, a couple times, and then hit his face on the ground pretty hard. And we stopped at Epic BMX, the world's best bike shop, on the way to the hospital. He drank a beer, completely concussed and underage. And then we finally made it over to Kaiser Permanente, and they stitched him all up, scanned his brain, said he was drunk and concussed, and then they sent us on our way.
Jesus, man. And then a couple months later, I would assume, or a couple weeks later, he actually came back and pulled it, right?
Yeah. I want to say it was only like 10 days later. Came back down. Granted, keep in mind, he lives like 8 hours north of us, and he's 17 with no license. But he made it happen. He calls me up 10 days later, stitch is still in place, and said, "Hey, I'm ready to handle that thing. Let's get a little wider piece of wood," and I think I got it. So went and swiped the old fit card, OTC, and got him a nice wide piece of wood, and I want to say 4th or 5th try, handled it, threed it a couple times again, and then stomped her. So that was very exciting. Probably one of the best clips I ever filmed. And just so happened to lose the bottom angle.
Oh, motherfucker, eh?
Yeah. I swear to God, I'm not making an excuse here. File corrupted. You ever have that happen where like 1 in like 10,000 will just say, "Nah, fuck you"?
Dude, do you know what is so funny? I just downloaded a bunch of stuff from your Instagram, and I've never had this happen, but a bunch of the files corrupted. So I'm like sitting here panicking because I normally full screen it so that I don't have to do it like, I don't know, all shitty from the actual like web browser. So like 4 or 5 of the things I picked out are corrupted. But yeah, I've had that happen quite a few times, and it's the fucking worst. And you know everybody thinks you're lying to them too, is the worst part. Oh yeah.
Like, I didn't lose it. I'm not lying. Look, the file. You can't open it. It's fucked.
The worst is when it has like a thumbnail, but then when you go to click on it, it just doesn't want to do anything. Like, how did you get that fucking far?
I don't get it. And it was like the first time this had happened on this particular camera, and I was pretty devastated about that one because that bottom angle does it justice, and obviously that's not one I can go, "Hey, I'll give you $20 if you do it again." So
yeah, dude, especially
it is what it is.
Just let everybody know that, you know, Mikey Tyro was on the bottom there filming the bottom angle, and he forgot to hit record again.
Oh, I would have loved it if it was Mikey Tyro's fault. That would make it so much easier.
So if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, I'll pull the clip up. But Mikey fucking was on camera duty, and Began threw his bike like right into one of your fucking cameras, and didn't even like clip it at all. Do you want to tell us like kind of what was going on that day? Like, I know you guys were doing a trip to Denver, right?
Yeah, that's right. We were. Where were we? We were on I-80 East in northern Nevada in a shithole little town called Winnemucca on our way to Salt Lake City, and just pulled over after hours of driving, try to find something to ride just to stretch our legs, and came across that straight out of the van. First go. I mean, I had literally told his bike may go flying right now directly into the camera. So please stand there, and if he ditches, grab this shit. And what happens? First go, ditches his bike, goes straight into the camera. Mikey runs the other direction. Matter of fact, wasn't even my camera. I borrowed it from Tyson Films, who films all of Colby Rajas stuff. So it wasn't even my camera. But luckily it survived.
Jesus, man, that's the fucking worst that it wasn't your camera at all. Like, that is rough. And yeah, like, you know, in the clip, he's like, you know, I tried to grab it, and like watching it back there, you did not try and grab that shit. Like, he ran so fucking far, like the other direction without any hesitation.
I know. You had one job, Mike. One.
I just love the fact that like doesn't grab the camera, but also doesn't record it. Like, that's fucking rough, dude.
Double whammy. As Sketchy Mike would say, my equilibrium was dry.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we roasted him all the way to Salt Lake for that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's still getting roasted right now here on the Go Cave podcast.
That's right. 8 months later, still roasting him.
Oh, fuck. So, in a situation like that, you know, but before we jump into that, what happened to the camera? Was the camera all good? Did anything break on it? Did you have to pay for anything?
My $20 Rite Aid tripod broke that it was sitting on. But as far as the camera goes, it just had a couple scratches on it. Nothing serious. I was expecting like the lens to be cracked, mic to be off. I mean, everything. But to my surprise, it was still in pretty decent shape. Just a couple scratches. So, you know, we got away clean on that one. And as far as I know, Tyson's still using it right now. So I think we escaped near death there.
Yeah, that was definitely a fucking close call. So in a situation like that, if that was to happen and it was one of your cameras, or it was one of Tyson's and it got fucked up, who in that situation would have to pay for the new camera? Would that be you because you're the one responsible for the cameras, or would it be Mikey because he's an idiot and ran away?
I would definitely press Mike a little bit, but I would know from the get-go that he's not going to pay for it. So ultimately, it would be me. I would take full responsibility for it. And granted, if it was my camera, I wouldn't have been nearly as mad at Mikey as I was. The only reason I was even the slightest bit mad at him was because it wasn't my camera.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I definitely could see that happening. I've never borrowed anybody else's camera just because I don't want to fuck their stuff up. Like, I don't know. I've always just, in our last video, even Space Goats, all I did was like, if I needed a second angle, we would record them doing a run up or like the run out of that clip like separately. So like they would do the trick for my main angle, which sucks because like you can't get a full trick, you know, in two different angles that way, but we managed to make it work pretty well. But yeah, that would fucking suck, man. I'm so happy that like you guys didn't break that kid's camera. That would have sucked.
Yeah, I didn't just borrow it from him. I think I paid him like $250 to take it for 2 weeks or whatever, but where was I going with that? Yeah, I paid him for it, so we were straight. But with that OSS video, I just felt it needed two cameras. I've done the one camera and kind of like fake the run in and run out or whatever. But for a bigger video like the OSS one that we knew was going to do numbers, I just figured, you know, it's worth spending $250 to borrow a camera since I only had one at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I think is so cool about that OSS video too is that, you know, the video is called All the Smoke. So if you guys haven't checked that out yet, go and do it. It's like a 15-minute mixtape video. It's like a trip video of you guys going to Denver, but the fucking riding is unreal from all the riders. You know, everybody in that video absolutely killed it. The filming is great. The editing was awesome. Music choice was awesome for, you know, the brand that OSS has set for themselves. Like, you can tell just watching like the first 20 seconds of it that it's a OSS video.
Totally. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Honestly, if I could have worked full time for the last 10 years for OSS, I would have been so glad doing that. I mean, they use the kind of music I want to use. They're not scared to put some ratchet shit in. It's the closest thing to Death Wish or Baker or something, and those are the guys I kind of try to emulate. So we're a match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned, me and OSS. But that was actually the first video I ever did for them, mostly due to the fact that they weren't trying to film stuff VX. So once I had the HD thing, me and Alfredo decided we should hit the road for a trip to promote those, whatever that clothing line they had coming out at the time.
Yeah, and what I think is like, super cool is that you guys do connect on the level of like music and whatnot, but I find it's really interesting that you are into skate videos as well. Like, did you get a lot of your, inspiration from skate videos?
For sure, yeah. I mean, it's a little easier, especially nowadays, to find a skate video that's filmed with a VX. Not to mention, basically all the skate filmers are a hell of a lot better than BMX filmers. No offense to any BMX filmers. That's just the fact of the matter. I mean, they grew up skating. They're a little more agile and smooth on the board, so shit just tends to come out a little cleaner. And, it's a lot bigger world. So, whereas with BMX, at times it's kind of hard to find something you're looking for, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think in 2012 I really could have found like a super ratchet, like well filmed VX1, MK1 video out there. I mean, not that I can remember, at least not one that's filmed well. Whereas with skating, you had like Baker, Death Wish, Shake Junt, like all these companies putting out these crazy ass videos, not only the skating, but the antics and, the partying and all that stuff. And that's just the vibe I've always liked. So it wasn't so much that I'm trying to dick ride skating. It's just I couldn't find what I was looking for in BMX, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. I get what you're saying. And even like, Deadline and that kind of stuff, like Deadline, you can tell that Tony really had like, I guess, a skate mentality when it came to the filming, like all done on VXs. And back then too, like, because Deadline was what, like almost 10 years ago at this point, I would say.
Well, notice I said 2012 because Deadline came out in 2013. They got it right as far as I'm concerned. And other people have gotten it right since then. But 2010, 2012, when I was like real young and probably at like not peak video watching age, but coming up and taking inspiration from people, I'm just not sure that vibe was out there, at least on the internet and somewhere I could access it or like, organically discover it.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Skating's always been like that too, because there is so much of it. It's so easy to figure out, like, I don't know, different camera angles and whatnot. And like you were saying before too, like the skate filmers have all grown up skating too. So like they're really, able to use a board to do like follow lines and whatnot. Whereas like, I can definitely do some pretty decent follow lines, but not at anywhere close to these dudes where they're like bombing hills. There's some awesome clips of people like, rolling with a huge whale lens on their HVX through bowls, like following people. And like, I could not fucking do that.
Oh my gosh. I can't tell you what I'd pay to be able to do that. Or screw the bowl, specifically skate down a hill in San Francisco, following up and down curbs, following someone all the way down. There's zero chance I'll ever be able to do that in my life, no matter how hard I try. So
did you ever?
I just can't get enough of that.
Did you ever see that clip of it's a skater going through like this little tiny tunnel thing? It's like a full pipe tunnel, and there's a dude, I think he's filming it with a VX with like a light. It's super dark. The dude is behind him. And like, it always pops up on my Instagram once in a while. And whenever you read the comments, like everybody's like, dude, fuck the skater. Like, think about the filmer on the board behind him. Like, that dude
Yeah,
knows what's up. Like, that's fucking wild.
it sounds familiar. I'm sure I've seen it.
I'm
But,
sure, I guarantee I'll see it again soon, and when I do, I'll send it over to you, and you'll know exactly what clip I'm talking about.
yeah, tag me in that pitch.
Hell yeah.
That sounds sweet. It might be like Happy Medium or something. The Arizona skate videos.
Maybe.
Sounds like it'd be something up their alley.
Yeah.
But Mastrone's done a little bit of that in the full pipe, following downhill in a full pipe, and then I think Jason Ames does like a wall ride 180 out of the end or something like that in the final thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and Mistroni is he's fucking really talented. There's a lot of really good like BMX filmers out there too.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, since I've found lots of things that I like, but at the time, back in 2010, 2012, I'm not sure it was really out there. Maybe some OSS videos here and there, but back then they weren't filmed that great. So to get the whole shebang, the good filming, the good, in my opinion, good music, and good editing, all that kind of stuff together that's the money.
Hell yeah. So one of our live viewers wants to know, what is your favorite brand for BMX bikes? I feel like if Denim's still in the Uber with you there, probably gonna, yell at you to make sure it's a BSD bike.
BSD is up there for sure, but I love how much they travel and how much they do for all their riders. But to be honest, probably a pretty stock answer, but Colt. I mean, mainly just because Robbo is like the best TM owner you could ask for, and he goes the extra mile for everybody on the team. And he's got an in-house filmer, Vives, and they've been working together forever. He kind of lets him do his thing, and pays everybody pretty well. Supports a lot of people, and it's not one of those companies where I'm looking at them going, how in the hell did they afford to go on that trip? How the hell can they fly this guy to this contest? Whatever. I wouldn't feel bad asking for a check from Bravo because I know they're doing well. And I don't know how the hell that plays into what my favorite company is, but I guess I just respect that. The fact that they are doing so well and their branding's so on point, and he can, pay all his guys what they're worth.
I think that's a really good point, because right now I'm actually riding a Cult Chase Hawk frame. And I will admit too, BSD is one of my favorite companies. They're the only company that built a frame that lasts me longer than a year other than Cult. Every other frame that I've ever ridden has broken in 9 months. And I don't know if it's just because I've really slowed down on my riding. I've went from riding every day to, a couple times a week. But on top of that, Cult, I can completely agree where that company is doing well. And I think that the way that a lot of mid-school riders will look at FBM, I think that when we're at that age, Cult will be the company that we are, still supporting, still looking towards for leadership in the BMX world. And I really think that Cult is they do a lot of good shit, and their team is seriously the best team in the world. You cannot, if you look at the team riders from different brands, I would say that Cult has the best team, because they have some of the oldest legends like Dakota Roche, Chase Hawk, Chase Dehart, quite a few other guys. And then they have Brandon Began, who just joined last year. So, you're getting into the Cali BMX scene and whatnot. And Began is a huge rider too, on top of that. But yeah, just anybody that's on that team, it's crazy to see that they have such a great variety,
For sure. Yeah, and not to say anybody else isn't making money or they don't treat their guys right, but I just think Robbo is the man as far as, his position as owner, TM, whatever you want to. I mean, I guess he kind of fills both roles, but I just don't think you could find anybody better. And he's a smart businessman on top of it all. So I really respect that. And like I said, their branding, their team, everything. I mean, they're like the '93 Bulls.
Oh, hell yeah. And on top of that, too, Chris Cole, huge skater, owns, I believe, a third of Cult, which is pretty fucking crazy to see. Like, the only BMX company that also has a skateboard owner. At least I would think so. So that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, and to do it in the short amount of time that they've been around, 10 years.
Yeah, and Chris Cole was there like right when they pretty much started, I think. He bought into it, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, I think Robbo knew him, Robbo, Dakota, all that knew him through Black Box Distribution.
Yeah.
And I remember he had like a 360 clip in one of the first videos ever.
Yeah, there's a clip of him at Woodward trying to learn bar spins. I know that. And he was comparing a bar spin to the kickflip of BMX, which is like, that's a really good point.
Right. That's right, yeah.
Never heard if he got those bar spins, Should probably find some footage of them. We'll find out.
I know he's got a mean 360.
Hell
that
yeah.
Motherfucker was pop. But, they're branded too. I mean, who else does it like them? All the little knickknacks they're putting out, collector's pieces, all their shirts from the very beginning. They make pants now. They do. It's all on point, and it's got a cool branding. It seems to be such a hard thing for BMX companies to comprehend, but they nailed it from the start. And I think a lot of that has to do with what's his name, Adam Roy, I believe it is, who designs all their stuff. But he's done a bang up job from the jump, and I think they got some of the best branding in the game as well. I mean, you look at somebody like, I don't know, not to fucking pick on anybody here, but like a Hoffman Bikes or something. Look at their clothing catalog. It's going to be a bunch of teal T-shirts with a stock-ass logo on it, which, granted, there's nothing wrong with it, but, they've just came so far from that, like, generic BMX clothing line that everyone else is still kind of on.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, man, for sure. I think that Cult's branding has done so much for them with, the way that everything is designed. And like, my thing too is that, like, I don't know, I just feel like most BMX riders, you don't want to give them colorful shirts for the most time. Like, just what's wrong with white or black? Like, I don't know. I always, for the most part, dudes that ride BMX ride in black clothing. And it's so weird to say that like fashion in BMX is a big thing, but it is fucking huge. And that is why people, all over the world have been copying OSS's style. And like, all these kids from around the world are buying stuff because they enjoy it. Like, it's so strange that fashion has such a big deal within BMX.
Yeah, I'm not even like a clothes guy. I'm not a fashionable guy at all, but I can just appreciate it,
Yeah, absolutely. There's something always good about like a good style, like Cult stuff is very, I don't want to say minimalist, but like, for the most part, like there's not too much going on the shirts, but like it's enough that like you can really see, I don't know, what the brand is like just by looking at it.
Yeah, I love all the little doodles and shit they do too, and some of that might be hobby at good feeling, but yeah, they've done a bang up job on that. Not to say that I'm any kind of clothing designer. I mean, a lot of our common stuff was fucking whack that we made, especially early on. But yeah, like I said, I can just appreciate that, and I think it's cool.
Hell yeah. So I got a couple questions about, behind the smoke or all the smoke. So one of them here was, who was that dude that was letting Ethan take a rip off of his like dab screwdriver thing? Was that like just some random fucking dude?
Oh, that time we smoked meth. Yeah. Yeah, just some local riders. Local riders pulled up with the meth rig.
I know that thing looks so fucking sketchy, eh?
Yeah, that's how Ethan lost his hair, actually.
I would assume so. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, it's some local.
Just some local fucking dudes.
Yeah, it was a meth dab hybrid. You know, not all meth. We're not that crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck is that thing? Like, it looks so fucking crazy. And I think in the clip, Ethan says something about like, you know, he's never done dabs before. And myself personally, you know, I've always gotten way too fucked up on those things. So like, what was his rotting like the rest of the day? Was he just very lackluster?
Oh, dude's unfazed. Unfazed.
Jesus.
Fucking weed garbage disposal.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's no problem for all either.
Well, I guess, you know, the video is called All the Smoke, so you'd kind of assume that, you know, everybody in the video is probably a fucking weed garbage disposal. Definitely vegan.
100%.
Oh,
100%. And what's funny, actually, about I think I put all the smoke. Each of the dudes is blowing out smoke at the beginning, which I really fought myself on. I couldn't tell if it was corny or not. And looking back, I do think it was kind of corny. But that's all I had to go on at the time, and how the song works. I needed something quick. So I realized I had smoking clips of all three people except Denim. Luckily, Denim was about 30 feet away from me in the backyard. And I said, hey, guy, take this jewel and go smoke that in the weeds over there so I can get a little clip of you blowing some smoke out. I can pop it in. We can finish this video up right now. So that was a funny little piece too.
Oh, fuck. I love it. And then there's a clip at, I think it's 1914 in the video of Ethan pulling his nutsack out. So I really just want to play that on stream for some reason. Any particular story on how this happened?
Hey, how did Ethan break his nutsack on that trip? Was it at that little skate park? Yeah, he broke the nutsack, remember? You didn't fly until later. Denim flew in a couple days late. I think we were along that same stretch of road where Mikey completely ran the other direction from the bike and the camera.
Yeah.
And earlier that day, we had stopped at a shitty little skate park off the side of the freeway, and he was just doing some dumb shit, tire riding like a 2-foot tall rail, and I don't know exactly how it happened. I don't quite remember, but I just know when I came back from getting food to the skate park, his nutsack was bleeding.
Jesus,
so,
man.
Later that night, I felt like examining it on camera, and ended up in the video. He wasn't too happy about that one. I posted the text on my story when after his behind the scenes video came up, and he just texted me, "Did you put my nutsack on the internet?" And I just replied, "Yes." That's it.
I love it. It's just, did you put my nutsack on the internet? Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
I wish I was at home with good Wi-Fi. I could be texting you this stuff as I'm telling you about it.
Oh, fuck. That is all good.
But yeah, that was a super fun trip. Really, really fun trip. I can't wait to do that one again. Hopefully this goddamn virus will blow over and we can keep it rolling.
Yeah, how's everything there? Like for here, it's really affecting us where like, you know, they're starting to hand out tickets to people of $1,000 if you're caught with like, basically if my girlfriend and I go to the grocery store together, that's fine. But if we were to pick up like a friend of ours and then go to the grocery store with them, if we get pulled over, all three of us will get $1,000 fine.
Jesus, yeah. Eddie told me that one of his buddies got $1,000 fine about a week ago in LA walking down the sidewalk. But I think that's probably more of like a downtown LA type of thing.
Yeah, that is fucking
suburb,
wild.
About 40 minutes outside of there. So, I mean, for example, where me and Denim were today, we saw about, I don't know, what do you think, 500 hikers Yeah, there was probably about 500 people hiking that we drove past today. So it's pretty much business as usual unless you're, an old geezer. And I've been trying to play it safe. Probably not the smartest move on my part to be in an Uber right now, but it is what it is. Denim had to jump the Explorer 70 feet, strand us. So.
Oh fuck, that is still hilarious because like, sorry to interrupt, but I was sitting there like, looking at my phone. I like send you a message like probably 3 hours ago, like, hey, like, we're gonna start in about an hour and a half. Like, you good to go? Like, no reply. Okay, well, whatever. I'll just set everything up. Like, he'll probably be fine. I start looking at Denim's story, and then I see the fucking Explorer has no fucking airbags in it anymore. I'm like, all right, he's gonna be a little late.
I got to you in time.
Dude,
I got to you in time.
I love the fact that like I was the one late. Like I was like, oh shit, you're actually good to go. Okay, give me fucking 10, 15 minutes here.
You texted me. You sent me a message. 3 hours. We agreed to do it at 7 o'clock, and he sends me a message 3 hours before. Like, hey, you good to go? I'm way too busy back in these trails, rock crawling, jumping this shit, doing all this stuff. Not to mention my phone only has about 10% battery on it, and it doesn't have a charger in that car. So upon us getting it, somewhat fixed to where we could drive out to the main road, these guys in a stolen F-250 roll up, and Denim buys a
phone cable,
stolen
right?
iPhone charger off of them for $20. And at that point, I go, well, looks like I can make the podcast. And I texted you at about 6:58 while we were waiting for the tow truck. So it just so happened to work out like that. I wish I could tell you I was checking the time to make sure I was going to be on time, but that wasn't the case. It just so happened to be 6:58.
Oh man, I love it though. That's fucking hilarious. Well, I'm just going through Denim's Instagram story here for everybody. It's like the beginning of the day when you guys got that Explorer. You guys are fucking ripping off the Ford icon now. I love it.
we took a whole lot more video on the VX and on our phones, not on the story. So I'm sure you'll see a little more of it later. But we're trying to finish up an LBZ video right now. So we figured we should go get some car jumps and some 110 stuff and things of that nature to, 90s moto it up.
I love it. It's great. You and Denim are really into redneck shit. There's a video that I think it was you put on your Instagram of like you and Denim jumping fucking choppers and shit. I don't know why it's so funny, but it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, that's right. Texas, baby. You got to get in the spirit. His parents live about an hour north of Dallas. And every time we get out there, better not touch our PBR. You know what I mean? We really we turned the hick up a few notches.
Hell yeah. Oh, I fucking love it.
What do they say? White? Never mind.
No, it's all good.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I was trying to think of something with that. But
so something that I think would come just with filming with Denim is like, maybe getting nervous about, when he's riding, like some of the big gnarly fucking shit that this guy does. Like we were talking the other day and the guy does huge gap to hangers, huge like gap to grind tricks all the time, like the biggest, craziest shit. And then he's also breaking into water parks, stealing fucking, slide tubes and jumping into ravines and whatnot. Like, do you ever get nervous with him? Like, and how do you kind of, calm your nerves when it comes to him doing a huge fucking trick that's like pretty dangerous?
I can't think of many times I've been scared for him. I mean, for other people for sure, but I know his face can take it.
Fair enough. So. Lost enough teeth.
No,
right?
I mean it's scary sometimes, but I try not to stop him, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the best way to do it. Like, realistically, he's going to do it anyways. You might as well be there as a friend to push him to do it, I guess. And, like, also just make sure that he's, I don't know, just, like, comfortable, right? Like, we were talking the other
Drive him
day.
to the hospital after, maybe.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's a good reason to be there. But, no, I don't know. I trust him more than most people, so I'm not too worried about it. Unless he's like stupidly high, like maybe if he would have taken a hit of the meth dab, then I would have pumped the brakes on that day. But other than that, I mean, he's kind of like, you know, a stuntman at heart. So
Yeah, exactly. Mason Patrick, yes, we do take questions in the live stream. If you're asking about what his favorite BMX company was, it's Cult. We went over that. I don't know if you missed that, but yeah. Continuing on here. So I really wanted to talk about this clip of Alfredo doing a flare on the wall and like the security coming up during all the smoke. Is there any other backstory behind that? Like, you guys covered it pretty well when it comes to the actual like footage wise. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about security guards and how like, people should be handling it, I guess, or like how they should handle this kind of a situation.
yeah, I mean, I don't think that's how you should handle most security guards, but that guy in particular coming up just screaming at us right off the bat, I'm like, well, two can play that game. Fuck you, old man. So,
and I think that's
normally I'm really, really nice to him, and you can talk to him and kind of negotiate and get yourself another 5 minutes or whatever. But with that guy, it was a little different. And basically what you get there, I mean, he pulled up, started screaming his fucking head off, and we screamed back, told him to get the fuck out of there, and then Alfredo landed it next try. So, I mean, there's not much to that. It's everything you saw on video.
Yeah, and something that I wanted to mention too is like, I think you guys were absolutely in the right to yell and freak out at that dude, because it's so disrespectful for him just to come around the corner, fucking speeding around in his like whatever car, fucking slam on the brakes, jump out and start yelling and screaming and not actually like, trying to deal with the situation properly. Like, had he drove up like a fucking normal person and got out and said, "Hey guys, like, you guys know you can't be here. You guys might have tried to barter with them, but at the end of the day, like, the situation would have been handled properly." Whereas, like, I don't know. My thought is like, you need to give respect to earn respect. Like, that guy had no right to do that at all. And like, yeah, he gets paid. Yeah, he's a security guard. But at the end of the day, it's not okay to fucking treat somebody like that. Like, you can't just grab at somebody's bike like that either. Like, he's seriously lucky that it wasn't like, I don't know, somebody that fucking gets super like violent and triggered super easily,
Like some crazy East Coast fool who would have just laid him on.
Yeah, or local rider Tyler Rizzi. I don't know if you guys know him, but
That's my dude. I fucking love Rizzi.
Oh fuck, that clip is like so crazy. It's actually about like an hour from where I live, and a lot of the people around here were pretty pissed about it. But like, I don't know, I was just kind of like, shit happens. Like, none of you guys were there. None of you were in the situation. Like, how they dealt with it is how they dealt with it. They can't change it now. Like, who really cares? I don't know if did you ever see that clip?
Go ahead.
Did you ever see that clip of Rizzi and fucking him like punching some security guard and his buddy hitting him with a shoe?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I had no idea it was Rizzi for the longest time. I actually just found out at X Games 2019 that was him the first time I met him.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
That shit went pretty freaking viral, didn't it?
Yeah, it was huge. I remember it being released on the Come Up like years ago, and like reading the like bio, and I think this is when Adam was still doing like a lot with the Come Up at that time, and he was like, oh, I asked him if he wanted to be named in this, and he said yes, that's fine. And like, there was a lot of shit that went down around here, but I think that the charges ended up being dropped because like the security guards were being a little ridiculous with them. But
That's good. You think that's how he got his job at Monster? They saw that footage and they were like, yeah, we could get behind this guy.
I think that he was already with Monster at that point. I know that he was on Hyper, and it was super funny. These dudes fucking made like a meme of oil slick handcuffs. It was like Hyper Tyler Rizzi signature handcuffs.
Ha! That's fucking good, dude.
I'll have to find
by
that.
the way, I'm out of the Uber now. I'm at home.
Hell yeah.
So,
fucking shout out to the Uber driver, man. We should have got him.
We should have got him on.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't really want to hand him the phone, and he had a mask on.
Yeah,
so.
Fair. He'd probably
Not sure
freak the
how
fuck
that
out and be like, no, I'm not talking to you. I don't want to get Canadian coronavirus through the fucking phone.
Nah, he was cool. I think I overheard him and Denim talking about him being a DJ or something. But yeah, I'm home now just so you guys can get the timeline of what's going on over here.
Hell yeah. We've already been on the phone for an hour and 16 minutes. This is pretty good, man.
Cool. I hope I'm talkative enough. I'm not really too big of a talker usually.
Dude, I love it. I always prepare like way too many questions for people. Like I think with Denim, we ended up doing close to 30, but I had like, 40 or 45 questions just to like really fill the time in case. And with you, I think we've done like maybe a quarter of the questions that I had, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, sweet.
Hell yeah.
Let me see if I can find a White Claw here. Get even more talkative.
Yeah. I'm just about to crack my fucking second 8% tall can of this podcast. This is slow for me today, too.
That's slow? Hey, Denim, you got any claws? What, you only got one claw? Should we go to 7-Eleven while I'm doing the podcast?
Do it. Do it, and then get the 7-Eleven guy on the phone. I'll be like, hey, how long have you known Sauce the Boss for?
I think it's pretty irresponsible for me to ride a 110 over there while I'm on the phone with him.
I don't think we'd be able to hear anything.
Yeah. I don't think that's the best setting for a podcast on a 110 with an FMF pipe.
Probably not. Oh, man. But to go back on that fucking clip of Alfredo, Denim in the middle of it, like, most people probably wouldn't be able to hear it, but like in the middle of the rambling, Denim is like, he only speaks Spanish. He doesn't speak English.
We've gotten out of I think just before that we had gotten out of something with Yumi because we said that he only spoke Japanese, and they were like, you're from Japan, blah blah. And then we got in contact, and I went out and said, yeah, like he's flying back home tomorrow. Like this is the last thing we need, blah blah blah. And I don't think it worked out necessarily, but they still told us to get the hell out of there. But I don't know, maybe that was fresh on our minds at the time.
Oh man, I love it. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Oh dude, okay, so what the fuck is going on in the background?
Denim's taking his 110 to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, is he grabbing them White Claws for you or what?
Oh hell yeah!
Fuck.
He's probably taking for himself. Huh?
Hell yeah! He's gonna come back, fucking shotgunning White Claws on the 110, doing handrails on his fucking dirt bike.
That's right. That's the name of the game. He comes flying down the street every time. And keep in mind, we live in like a normal, like, middle class suburban neighborhood. We're not like out in the sticks. So he just rides the 110 all over the place in the middle of the neighborhood. Your
fucking neighbors hate you guys. I can guarantee it.
Oh, they're going to hate us when they wake up to this piece of shit Ford Explorer with no headlights in front.
Oh, fuck. I love that every car that you guys have there is either trashed or fucking, like, done up so well. Like, your C10 that you had was incredible. That thing looked fucking dialed.
Thank you. I'm sitting on it right now.
Hell yeah.
I decided, you probably saw the post when I put up for sale, but I've been doing a lot of other shit since then, and we still need to do a little work on the front end. So I haven't really been promoting it as I should to get it going. he's going to come along and drive it and go, yeah, I don't know if this is what.
Yeah, because I know you were looking into selling it, and it's probably a good thing that you hold on to it. I feel like, it's always weird to look at it this way, but like 20 years from now, are you gonna miss that truck? Probably.
God, no. Hell no. The only reason I bought this thing in the first place was to flip it.
All right, never mind.
It took way too long. We got way out of hand on this one. Did way too nice of a job, and it ended up taking like 2 years to complete. And I had initially planned for like 3 to 6 months.
Fuck.
Nevertheless, I'm kind of good money wise. We just have way too much time into it. So
fair enough.
It should have been a normal flip, but we built it as if it was way too fucking nice. But now it's so nice that I can't leave anything undone, and the front end needs a little work still. So as soon as I get a little time, we'll fix it and get it done, get it out of here.
Oh man, yeah. Well, hopefully that thing goes to a nice home. I guarantee it will.
Yeah, maybe Toronto.
Maybe. Who knows?
I've shipped a lot of them out of the country, never to Canada, but maybe one of your loyal listeners will cough up 35 G's and I'll ship it to them too.
And that's not just 30. Did you say 35?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not like a normal 35G Canadian. That's probably like closer to 50G Canadian now. The fucking dollar is crashing right now because of all the COVID shit, so.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, you get even more money. Well, I mean, you don't get any more money. We have to pay more money.
Yeah, I know. That's no good. I don't want to hear about any dollars crashing.
Dude, how did you get into doing like stocks and stuff? Like Denim was telling me the other day that you got him into stocks.
I don't really mess with stocks too much, but in a time like this, where it's just brutally obvious that the market is eventually going to return to where it once was, I will straight up just go on the app, look at all the biggest losers, determine if they're big enough companies for the government to bail them out if things get too bad. And then, if they're at $9 and their market high for the year was 100, with a reasonable amount of certainty that you can make 10 times your money. All it's got to do is return to where it was right before this. And I've been kind of dabbling with that, with like car recalls and stuff like that for a long time, where it's obvious they're not going to go out of business, and it's obvious that eventually the public's going to forget, or whatever the issue is going to be resolved, and it's going to go right back to where it was. I mean, it's like a no-lose situation. It'd be really hard to lose in that situation, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Somebody in the live stream, we got Eddie, who actually was the owner of the Orange Dream. Eddie, how do you feel? Eddie, how do you feel about Denim jumping your truck fucking 85 or 75 feet, and completely fucking almost totaling it? Well, I would love to hear your response, so type that up in the chat. You guys are fucking wild, too. Like, there's a couple videos of you guys doing, like, fucking almost demolition derby shit, flipping cars. I know there was, like, a video that Austin Augie did with you guys where you're trying to, like, get a car on 2 wheels.
Phew! Guess who's back?
Oh, it's Denim. I can hear the 110.
But, yeah, dude, I've actually been recognized by random people from that video. And it's not really went that viral, but I don't know. I guess it's just he's got more of a mainstream audience or something.
Dude.
Shit, Denim's gotten laid off that video a couple times.
Hell yeah. Dude, Denim apparently had a threesome during the fucking all the smoke trip in the back of the, fucking epic BMX van.
Facts. Yeah. All thanks to Augie's clout.
See, I wanted to test you because he told me that the other day, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking wild. But, like, I don't know. Like, fucking, dude, if Sauce is saying so, that shit happened.
straight up facts. Nothing like fucking off somebody else's clout, right?
Oh fuck, so good.
Like oh, that Adam clout. That's some good clout.
That is some
He just
good
said,
fucking
man,
clout.
He's like, man, I'm waiting to fuck off the Adam clout now too.
Oh fuck, I do love that.
You know what? Real estate investors, they say other people's money, OPM. We're talking about OPC.
Yeah, other people's clout. There you go. Oh fuck. Yeah, Austin Augie is like, he's a pretty big name. Like, this fucking chick I know just doesn't know anything about BMX at all, and she knows who Austin Augie is. I'm like, that's fucking wild. Like, I don't know. I always feel like BMX is so small that like the only people that really know about it are the people that are on the inside. But like to see just some random person that's like, oh, you ride a BMX bike? Yeah. Do you watch Austin Augie? Like, no, personally, but
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely broken into a more mainstream space. Couldn't be more proud of him. I remember when he had quite literally $0.
well, I mean, dude, fucking good on him. You know, like that is definitely a hard road to do, and like he deserves everything that he's got since then.
100%. Yeah, I'm so pumped for him. I mean, he was in 2015. I have a couch that everybody signed. I mean, I have his signature on that couch that says Austin Augenbaugh 2015. Or no, Austin Augenbaugh. #HomelessBoys 2015. So he definitely came a long way from there, and pretty much all on him. You know, I don't think he had a whole lot of help getting to where he's at now. So yeah, definitely kudos to him.
Hell yeah. Fucking, if Augie is, watching this randomly, shout out to you. And Mason, yes, there is a rabbit on the floor that is Cinnabon. She hangs out in the office all the time when we do podcasts. Eddie says that you gave him a great deal on the Explorer, the Orange Dream, and that you'll tell us about it. I think you kind of mentioned it at the beginning, but yeah.
How we ended up with it?
Yeah, I think you kind of mentioned it, right?
Long story short, a friend of mine was tired of trying to sell this little Mazda car he had, and he asked me if I wanted it for free. He probably thought I was just going to sell it myself. And Eddie was sitting next to me. I said, "Hey, you want a new car?" Because I know he's kind of a pile of shit, and it gets bad gas mileage. So he said, for a while, and then I convinced him that it was a good move. I gave him Mazda, which was the better car, better gas mileage, better everything. And all he had to do was give me Orange Dream back so that me and Denim could do exactly what we did today.
Hell yeah. Oh man, you guys are fucking wild. I love it.
Hey, how many miles? Oh, wait, 1 second. How much do you think our Uber was?
Me?
I hopped. Yeah, I mean, yes, you. I guess. I figured maybe the tax, but I don't know how many people are on there. But I got in the moment I answered the phone.
Okay,
I got
so
back 5 minutes ago. What do you think?
about an hour and like 10 minutes, I'd say.
Okay.
Fuck, man. It's so weird with the Canadian dollar too, right? For me, I would say probably close to $100, maybe a bit more.
You're on the money.
Yeah.
$96.
Damn, $96 American, so 145 Canadian probably.
Something like that. $96 freaking Uber ride.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
God I let Denim buy it.
Oh fuck. So
yeah, granted.
Sauce, I would love to know some of the easiest mistakes for beginners when it comes to filming. Do you have any advice?
Biggest mistakes.
Or like the easiest ones to make for beginners?
No, he's saying like easiest mistakes to make for beginners. Let me think. probably not upgrading the shit fast enough. I started out with a little piece of shit 8-tech camera that had AA batteries. I mean, that was a real pile of shit, like Big Lots Special. Probably cost $29. And I used that for far longer than I probably should have. In most part, though, because I didn't know where to find fisheyes or like where to get a camera or even what the name of a VX1000 was. I knew I liked the look of it, but I had no fucking idea what it was. And I had no one to turn to tell me at the time. So, I mean, there's that. There's just being a pussy, like not getting in there close enough because you're scared you're going to get hit or something. Like maybe it's good that you get hit a couple times, you know? I've had my head nose bonked a handful of times. I mean, just get in there and your cat-like reflexes will come. So there's that. And then if you're not at least a subpar skateboarder, I'm not saying you got to do tricks or anything, but just control-wise, get the fuck on that. And yeah, I mean, if you need help with the settings, reach out to me sooner or later. Because if anybody DMs me, I'll try to help them any way I can. You know, obviously, most proficient with a VX, but even with other stuff. So if anybody's listening that's solo and you're stuck on, you know, you don't know what the name of this camera is or settings, you know, importing anything like that. I'm pretty primitive, you know, VX, Final Cut Pro, nothing but I always will because I remember that not being able to find out what the goddamn name of a camera was. I mean, the simplest part of the whole process and nobody responding to me. Granted, we didn't have Instagram and stuff like that, but I mean, that feeling stuck with me. So anytime anybody asks me for help with anything, I'll try my best to help them out.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I guess if you're struggling with something, shoot me a DM and I'll coach you through it best I can.
Yeah, when it comes to camera stuff, it's always really confusing too, because like I don't know, most cameras have weird fucking names, like you know the Panasonic HVX200 or the VX like 1000 or 2100. Like it's all so different. Like anybody that's not in the norm wouldn't really know. You know, like even when I came into this, I bought the first filming camera that I ever bought was a Canon GL1. And that camera was a fucking workhorse. It definitely did quite a bit, but like it was not a very great camera. A great beginner camera, I'd say though. At least for like, you know, learning mini DV and whatnot.
Did you say a GL1?
Yeah.
Oh, probably good to learn on, but a real pile of shit of a camera.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I filmed like half my first video on the GL1, and like my first video was like, I can't believe that so many bought it because like, I don't know, it went pretty big and like we sold it all over the world. Like Sean Burns has a fucking copy of it, which is so crazy. But
really?
Yeah,
it was a full length?
It's a full length. It's called Fuck Ass's BMX DVD, and you can check out the trailer on Pornhub. And that's not a lie.
Wow, that's sick.
Yeah, we were.
When did that come out?
That came out in 2016, and we filmed it for like 3 years. And it's not like, honestly, it's very hard to watch. Like, it's not a professional video at all. And that was my whole thing. Is like the video's called Fuck Asses. Like, you can't think that it's professional at that point.
Expect much from it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had people shitting in trash cans. You know, people falling into like water and whatnot. It was a lot of fun. But
that's sick. I love falling into water and shitting in obscure places.
Hell yeah. There was like this fucking little like river bridge, like maybe 4 or 5 feet off the ground, and it has like these little flat rails on it. And our buddy tried to grind it and literally just fell into this fucking river. And like, I don't know why it's so funny. It's not even that bad. Like he just gets his foot like soaking wet, but like, I don't know why it's the funniest clip ever. I just think it's like everybody knows just watching it what the, you know, outcome's going to be.
Sorry, I didn't hear much of what you just said. I was too busy trying to capture the audio of Denim taking a long rip.
It's all good. Oh man.
But yeah, that's what I did here. That video sounds fucking dope. You have to send me a link.
I will send you the link to that. And then our last
Is
video.
it online? It's online now, right?
Yep. Yeah. Our last video, Space Goats, is online too. And that one is like all done through Final Cut. And I have like animation bits in there where it's all like animation, basically like stop motion. So like each frame, there's I think 30 different movements for like just one character. It's so weird, but it's just like a thing in between everybody's part is like it goes back to these goats in space. It's so random and like so weird, but like I worked my ass off on that and it's pretty good. Like, you know, if you know who MF Doom is, there's a bit where I took like interview audio of him and cut it and pasted it to make like words of him talking so that I could have like an MF Doom goat. It's so random. I'll have to send you some of it because it's pretty funny. At least I think so.
Wait,
but
so you do a little bit of animation?
yeah, a little bit.
Wow. Yeah, that's where my brain turns off right there. I have no interest in it. No desire. Once I got there, I was like, yeah, let's take it a step back. This isn't the vibe I'm going for, but I could definitely appreciate it. And matter of fact, I might just have a job for you if you're interested.
I don't know that much. I'll tell you that, but I'll definitely.
No. It doesn't have to be a good. It's a little tiny side project for me.
All right, I'll let me know, man, and we'll fucking work something out. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm definitely not bad with it. I did it all through Final Cut using like keyframes and PNG files, like layering. And I'll send you what I have, and maybe we'll work something out.
That would be hilarious. I'm doing a little bit of real estate stuff now, and we do this mass marketing where we text like 20,000 people that have a house that, you know, like a shitty house. And the guy I work with, he flips them. So I'm the one doing all the texting most of the time, and we get the funniest fucking voicemails back from people just so pissed off. And I'm telling you, these guys, they don't say they know what the fuck they're trying to get out. And some of them are insane, like so good, don't even miss a beat for a second, and they're just insulting us and calling us all these crazy names, all for sending them one text that they can reply stop to, and it will end forever.
So I think I get what you're trying to say. You guys are going to take these voicemails and animate them, right?
That's the idea. We might get sued. So we might get sued if they. I'm not sure if old man Mark, the guy I'm working with, will allow it. But every time I listen to one, I just think of how funny it would be if you animated it. But like guessing how the person looks based on their voice.
Dude,
like sometimes
absolutely.
You can tell it's like an old fat dude that's like sitting down at 8 p.m. to eat a Hunger dinner on the TV. And like other times it's just like a dog lady that's definitely laying in a pile of fucking cardboard that she's hoarded her whole life. And,
oh, fuck. I love it.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'll have to send you a couple of them. But anyway, that's a discussion for another time. But it'll be funny if I get.
Hell yeah. Well, maybe we'll see what we can do. Do you have any top 5 people that, you know, you like to film with? And, you know, keep in mind that Eddie is currently in the stream watching, so make sure you mention him.
Oh, I'll be sure to mention Eddie. I specifically don't like filming with Eddie. I'm just saying, no, Eddie's the man. He's got to be on every session, but he is a little bitch. He needs like 2 more clips to finish his edit, and he's been lacking for like probably a year now.
He said that he wants to.
I've been lagging as well. And yeah, I mean it's a real toss up who's lagging more. Anyways, best people to film with.
And sorry to interrupt you, but Eddie says that he wants to drop his part on Pornhub. So let me know, Eddie. You know, I do have the login and whatnot. We can work something out with Sauce. Maybe we'll get a Sauce the Boss on your face fucking Pornhub thing going too. We'll see.
That would be sick. Yeah, I mean, the more sites, the merrier. Put
Hell
it everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
My favorite people to film with. One of my favorite people to film with. Oh, yeah, that's right. Lewis Mills, for sure. Nah, Rakis is a vegan, not him. Yeah, I like Denim. I like Denim because I can peer pressure him and talk to him any way I want and, like, not care about his feelings. So, definitely Denim, Lewis Mills. Yeah, both of those guys are, like, the opposite of vegan. So that's a good point right there. Hobie Doan, even though he made me crash the fit villain. Ethan, just for the simple fact that he just walked up. How are you doing? And what's that for?
Is that Ethan there, like on the other end there?
Yeah, he's taking a piss right now in my backyard. You want to hear it?
Hell yeah. Fucking put that phone right next to it.
Oh, here we go. Okay. We're capturing all kinds of good audio. Then I'm taking a bong rip. Ethan taking a piss.
Oh, I fucking love
phone
it.
Call podcast while you're running errands. But let's see, one more. Chase Krolecki, dude. Chase.
Yeah, that kid is fucking wild.
He's a lazy pile of shit, actually. But I love him with all my heart. He's so funny. Best dude to hang out with. And he will never come visit us in Michigan because he works at the Chrysler plant and he can't get a day off.
Oh, fuck. So there's actually a clip of Chase that I have pulled up here, or that I can pull up, I think, unless that was one of the files that got corrupted. But it's him dropping off a government building roof onto like another one. You know what I'm talking about?
Roof to roof. You're sure it's a government building?
I don't know. There was it's like a roof onto a slightly smaller roof. It's one of your posts on Instagram. Here, I'll fucking send it to you really quick. I don't know if I actually have it.
It's not is it a roof onto like a block wall?
No, I might be thinking of the wrong guy. Here, let me try and find this for you and I'll send it over. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's him though. There's like cops that show up and do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, this is it. He hops over the wall and then into the down part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Lightning for Breakfast. But that was insane. I found that like a couple months earlier, and that's way the fuck out there. That's in like Palm Springs, a couple hours away from it. And I happened to find that a couple months before and looked at it and immediately just knew it had Chase written on it and took him back, and it went exactly according to plan. Actually, I mean, he got it done. I think he slipped out 2 or 3 times, but landed it, and then 30 seconds after, cops rolled up. But fine by us, we didn't get tickets, we didn't get anything, and we got the clip. So.
Yeah, the cop at the end seemed fucking super pissed. I just got this clip pulled up now, so I'll play it for everybody on stream. But
yeah, and now that you say that, I do remember him saying it was a government building.
Yeah, he's like, this is a government building, right? Like, all right, fucking chill out there, dude. Yeah, that is so wild. And what's crazy?
And I mean, it's like way behind the building. I mean, like no one would even know except for this one lady who happened to drive by and just threw a fucking fit.
Yeah, she looked fucking
deal with any of that stuff.
Yeah, she looked pissed. She needed to fucking spend a night with Adam 22 and Riley Reid and all these crazy fucking porn stars that he's hanging out with. She might be in a better mood then.
Yeah, let loose, get some dick. You know what I mean?
Oh fuck! I love that she's driving
Doing
away.
a drug deal over here, Ethan.
This is my second time selling weed ever.
Oh my god,
This is my 1000th time buying weed, actually.
Ethan,
I've got more.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Wait.
That's 3 strikes, you're out. This was only my second time.
Do we have a drug deal
We're doing
going
a
on
drug
the
deal
other
on my
end?
property.
Dude, a drug deal on the other end of my fucking podcast. How hilarious is this?
What? What Colorado sauce?
Oh, what the fuck? I love it.
Here, hey, you want to tap in for a second? Here, Ethan wants to tell you about his Colorado sauce.
Do it.
Back in a couple minutes. Hello?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hi, my name's Ethan.
Dude, I know who you are. Trust me. I've watched your footage like a gazillion times.
Oh, sick. Thanks, dude. I just listened to the Denim Cox one. It was pretty hilarious.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you for checking it out.
Of course, man. But apparently I'm here to tell you about some thoughts.
Yeah, tell me some sauce stories.
You want to hear about it? Okay. So we went to Colorado one time. Me and Denim went to Colorado. Oh, and Sauce did. We were all there. We went on an OSS trip. And Denim, how'd you meet those girls? Tinder.
They came right on over.
They saw him in an Austin Augie vlog, and they wanted to bang him. So they came and drove an hour to both these girls. Poor girls banged Denim in this all black van with no windows. Yeah, bro. It was crazy. And she gave him a card that says, "You're invited to my vagina."
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot to tell
True.
you about that one, Cam.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
fucking hilarious.
It was like the dirtiest, nastiest thing any whore has ever done to me.
Yeah.
Look, I actually still have the card.
What the fuck?
It's right here in my wallet.
Fully laminated card.
You're invited to my vagina.
I see it right here.
There's like
I wish
balloons
you guys
and
had
a
a video.
kazoo.
Dude,
Damn, there is a kazoo on that motherfucker.
tell Denim to send me a photo of that fucking card and I'll put it on stream right now.
Yeah, right now.
He's doing it right now.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
So meanwhile, while he's banging these two thoughts in the van,
Which I
I-
brought some sauce, but I didn't give it to sauce.
I
They're
am-
both kind of hungry.
vigorously Snapchatting this blonde thought that I met the same night, trying to, seal the deal.
That girl was so
But-
fucking hot, dude. Like your girl
She was fine. Yeah, she was fine. So it didn't happen though, bro. It was the last night too. It didn't happen. So I was like, fuck. But then I kept Snapchatting her. Bro, I don't use Snapchat. What am I in 8th grade? But I got it, whatever. So then she fucking flew here twice. Freaking pipe, bro. And she had a boyfriend the whole time. It was sick. And I didn't spend a dime, bro.
And then she signed my couch and peed on it. The one I told you Austin Augie lived on.
Yeah, you gotta get the Austin Augie piss couch going.
That's right. That's right.
Oh my god, that's fucking incredible, man. So I have
Good story, yeah.
I have a photo pulled up on stream right now, and it's of you, Sauce, holding what looks like a giant fucking like femur bone from some animal. There's a dude holding a fucking gun with a like sniper scope on it, and Ethan smoking a cig, and he's got like I don't know what the hell. I think it looks like a sword. What is the fucking story behind this?
The Battle of Warner Avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, colorized, yeah.
What is going on here? I gotta know about this.
Well, number one, that third guy is Julian. And I don't fucking know. We were just getting drunk at Ethan's house one time, and we found all those weapons, and somebody had a disposable camera, and here we are.
That is the
Battle
fucking
of Warner Avenue. Colorized.
greatest photo ever. I fucking love that shit, dude.
I do too. I hadn't thought about that in a while.
Oh,
I was like, where the
fuck.
fuck is he going with this? A bone? Never held a bone from a dinosaur. What the fuck? Like,
What the fuck? So
yeah.
the other day I was on the show with Denim Cox, and he was telling us, about how the guys were messing with you on all the smoke trip, and you weren't really feeling that, and instead, to defend yourself, you pulled your dick out and started jerking it off at Ethan. So since we have Ethan there, why don't we throw him on speaker, and then we can both, all three of us get into this. So what happened there? Ethan, I don't think that that's very nice. You shouldn't be bullying Sauce, man.
Ethan, he wants you to tell him about that time I scarred you permanently.
Oh my God, are you sure you want me to say this on your podcast, bro?
Yes, absolutely.
God. Here we go, buckle up. So,
It starts with the free fire.
of course it starts with a free fireball. So, Sauce, the boss, he's got a special talent to where, once he starts drinking, he keeps it up, he turns into a whole new guy. It's Sauce V2. And he never passes out, dude. He blacks out so easy, though, when he turns into Sauce V2, and he's just like a fucker, right? So, we go to this shitty little shithole bar in somewhere called... No, it wasn't Denver. It was called, like, fucking a name of a city here. Anyway, I don't know. But we go to this shithole bar, and the drinks are, like, $3, bro. And it was like... So we're pounding them, right? And so Alfredo notices the fireball machine dispenser is really close in arm's reach. So we spent the whole night stealing $3 shots, and he would fill the glass and slide it down to Sauce, and he would just pound them. And Sauce got so wasted. He ordered 6 shots for himself, bro. And the bartenders watched him take them all, and they were like, "All right, you got to go now, dude." So we all leave. We get kicked out pretty much. And Alfredo told the guy he was going to fucking knock him out. So I was like, all right, time to leave. So Sauce is all hyped up. We're all hyped up on the idea of almost fighting this guy. So Sauce keeps like fucking squaring up with everyone, right? And he squares up with me. And I was like, listen, Sauce, I get it. It's a joke, but I'm not joking. Stop. And he does it again. He's like, later on, he squares up. And I was like, Sauce, I will smack the fuck out of you. Stop. Because I hate when people touch me. And he kept coming up and grabbing me. So I was like, Sauce, bro, like, hands off, homie. Don't touch me. This is your last warning. He does it again. So I was like, bet, let's do it. And we square up. And I slapped the fuck out of him a couple times. And there's footage. It's great. Anyway, we go in the elevator. He won't let up, bro. I smacked the shit out of him like 5 times, and he still is like fucking with everyone, fucking with me even. And so Alfredo ends up like punching him in the kidney or some shit. I don't know what it was. He stalked him, and as the elevator doors open up, Sauce is like, ugh, and like falls on his fucking face in the hallway. And then he rolls over, and kind of starts fucking, what we do? He pretty much was just like, yeah, he was wasted, sorry. Pretty much he starts fucking, like, touching himself over his like weird fucking sweatpants that he wouldn't take off for a month and a half. I was like, bro, what the fuck? And so like he gets up and like tries to hit me, so I fucking shove his ass down. I was like, Sauce, I'm about to kick the shit out of you. And I shove him on the floor, and he fucking rips his pants down, and bro grabs his fucking soft wiener with his goddamn meat hands. Bro, I wish you could see this image. Bro, there's videos, but he's like yanking, dude, he's not even jerking off. He's yanking on this soft wiener, like,
Kind of like in between his fingers, and he's like
in between his fingers, and he's flicking it back and forth like a fucking vagina, bro. And he's pulling straight up on it, like, I see this motherfucking tapered fucking soft cock being stretched up and down like taffy, bro. And I was like, oh my God, you just ruined my life. And he's like, ha 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 ha. So then I go in the hotel room. I'm freaking out. It's not over. Keep in mind. I was like, holy shit, bro. Like, I just saw a fucked up thing. Like, I was fucked up, and I'm thinking, bro, this is beyond Sauce V2. This is Sauce V3. This is on Steam, bro. He comes back in the hotel room, right, with this motherfucking goddamn red face, and his grin is looking so horrible. And I was like, this motherfucker, he is still trying to fight me. Okay?
With his dick
So
out,
what do
right?
I do? With a mixture of being fed up from being tried to be fighted and touched, and a mixture of seeing Sauce's freaking cock stretch, bro, I was like, I'm beating the shit out of you. I'm beating the shit out of you. I fucking leaned back, and I smack him across the face so hard, he falls straight back like a fucking vampire, bro, onto the bed. Like, it looked like he got knocked out, bro. Like, full just wood board, just tipped right back onto the bed. Feet up and everything. But immediately, he fucking pops up like, surprise, motherfucker. He whips his cock out again. Bro, because I ran up, I was about to fucking keep slapping him, and he sees me wind it up again. He starts J.O.ing at me. And dude, I sang, he jerked off at me as he defends, okay? He jerked off at a person. You ever heard of someone jerking off at a guy? No. No, you don't. You never heard that. Sauce not only did the worst thing you could humanly imagine to me, but he also invented the worst thing you could do to a person, jerking off at them. So, a couple days later, I'm trying to grind this big-ass fucking curvy-ass down rail, crank arm that bitch, and I'm trying it, and it's scary, and Sauce goes, right here on this try, I will never jerk off at you again. And guess what happened?
You pulled that shit
pulled
fucking
it
try.
right there. So I've got the fucking certificate. I'm never being jerked off at again. But I don't know. Everyone else, I'd be worried.
Oh my God, man. Don't mess with Sauce unless you want the sauce. Jesus.
Yeah, there was probably no chance of Sauce at that
There was
moment.
no arousal. It was just like, hey, I'm going to stretch my dick at you so you go away.
Yeah, you know, have you ever heard somebody say, like, on Twitter or something, they're like, yeah, if like a bunch of guys are trying to fight you, just fucking whip your cock out and start jerking off.
That's literally what you did.
Method, and it works.
It does, apparently.
It worked.
So jerking off in defense, that's real. You ever find yourself in a terrible situation, perhaps in the streets of Philadelphia or Toronto,
Fucking pull your dick out, dude. You're good. You got this.
pull your cock out and yank on it soft, and they'll retreat.
They will leave you the fuck alone.
It's a fact.
Oh, man. Especially if you're a bald dude that's really good at fucking crank arms. They will not fuck with you after that.
If he has to endure that from someone else other than me, I can't imagine what his response to that would look like.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit.
He said, oh, I would kill anyone else who jerks off at me. You're lucky you're you.
I wonder if that's still, you know, maybe if you do it again, Adam, he might fucking kill you this time. We'll find out.
I made a promise. We signed a contract. I simply cannot. I cannot do it again to Ethan. I could maybe try it on somebody else if he'd like.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I feel like Denim would fucking... I don't know what Denim would do. I don't know if he would either laugh or just fucking, like, freak out. I don't know.
I don't know. I think it'd be a toss-up between knockout and run away.
I feel like Began would just be too stoned. He'd just laugh and fucking probably not do much about it, but who knows?
Began fucking vlogged it. Yeah, we have footage of all of this. You want to play it for your stream?
Absolutely. Where is it at?
It's full cock exposure.
Oh, fuck. I might add it in later if I can do that. I don't know. We're live, so.
Yeah, I don't want your YouTube to get banned.
Yeah, no thanks. I love this fucking photo. Denim just sent this over. I'm going to see if this works because, like, my cameras are set up really weird here. But, let's see. Oh, no, I got to fucking send that to myself. Let's make that happen. Yeah, well, I send that to myself. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the El Toro session with the Sabrosa handrails that never came out?
The long lost Sabrosa rail session. Yeah, that shit was badass. Right? Right when the Sabrosa rail was kind of popping off, Francis had the idea to put a couple of them down El Toro, and we spent all day long there. We didn't get kicked out, nothing. We had like the whole crew there, all the thank you guys, you know, a couple other people as well, and, you know, filmed this whole badass video. I can't even remember the shit that went down on it. I mean, obviously Ethan was there, crank arm. I think Justin might have done like a tires, you know, put a can up it, like a whole bunch of shit. I mean, we probably had like a 5-6 minute video we could have posted, and for whatever reason, it just got put on the back burner for Francis. For what reason, I don't know why, and eventually his computer crashed and it disappeared.
Oh,
but that video
no.
was so fucking badass, and it probably would have done some good numbers and been very entertaining if we would have got it out. That's one of the only ones we ever lost, so that's a bummer, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens, man, you know? I finally got that photo pulled up. So this is Denim's card that he got from one of those two girls in the back of the Epic van. It's welcome, or you're invited to my vagina. And I love that it's the number 2, not like the spelling. Like, I feel like that makes it so much better.
Cute little card, right? I mean, hey, Denim, didn't she give you that? Didn't she give you that card like within a minute of meeting you? Okay, we don't need that detail, but yeah, she handed it to him within about 30 seconds of meeting him.
Oh,
she knew it was on. She knew it was on. I mean, you don't just drive an hour and a half you don't drive an hour and a half into town. Yeah, please ruin me with what you got there. But, you know, she had her mind made up. You don't drive an hour and a half. You don't beg your friend to drive you an hour and a half into town so that you can fuck in a windowless van in the parking lot of the Hilton in Denver. I mean, some good branding for Epic too.
Absolutely. Only the best branding, you know? Like, it really shows that if you go to Epic BMX and buy a bicycle, you might get laid by girls that are driving forever to come and fucking do you.
Exactly. You may get some 300-mile round trip pussy.
There you go. Gotta have that. Oh,
like no doubt.
So,
but that was a fun trip, dude.
We're just past 2 hours here, Sauce. So this has been awesome. I can't believe that we didn't even make it halfway through the questions that I had, because this is incredible. Like, we could go on forever, but I think we're going to do a couple fan questions, and then I'll have one more for you. How's that sound?
Go for it, yeah. Speed round.
Hell yeah. So Devin BMX on Instagram asks, is it true that Connor Keating is a dollar store version of Mikey... I forget how to pronounce his fucking last name.
Tyra?
Yeah, Tyra. There we go. I can't believe I fucking didn't know how to say that. Jesus Christ.
Wow, they're like fucking best friends, like balcony cigarette buddies. I don't think he's a dollar store version, no.
Oh, fuck. I know. I was like, that's a kind of a weird question, but I still love it. I think that was kind of funny. And then Mason, who's in the stream, actually wanted to ask, what is the Cali BMX scene like?
Plentiful in comparison to most other places. A little bit uptight, cliquey, but I've come to know pretty much everybody. So I guess really good if you can infiltrate it.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. Because, like, you know, I think everybody's kind of jealous of the scene in, Cali. Because, like, you know, the 3 best places in the world for BMX right now: Austin, Texas, Barcelona, and fucking California. At least I would say so.
I would say that's probably accurate. people sleep on Shanghai though too.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like I said, just a little clicky and stuff, but it's good regardless. But it's definitely better if you can infiltrate and get some local connections. And if anybody's listening, holler at me. I got a million spots. I'll hook you up, and I try to help anybody who comes into town. But a lot of people won't, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, one last question for you, Sauce. If there's a kid out there that wants any advice on filming and like how to get into filming for BMX, if you had, just one piece of advice to give them right now, what would it be?
It might be a little tricky now, but I would say get in with one of the media companies if you can, because at the beginning for me, well, first things first, you need to meet the right people, whether that comes through DMs or meeting them in person or whatever. You can't be scared to talk to them. Get in with the right people. It's 80% who you know, 20% what you're doing, in my opinion. And get that straightened away, and then see if you can get in with one of the media companies. For me, it was a come up, and I was blogging on there as a super little dude and making videos for them and stuff as well. And that, more than anything, maybe not more than common, but it was the catalyst that propelled me forward, and probably had a lot to do with why we had success with Common, because we were in with those guys. So I guess I would say, I had to give one suggestion. It would be, I had to give two suggestions. It would be get in with the right people, no matter how you got to do it, and then try to get in with one of the media companies. Whether it be RBMX or Big or Vital, or obviously they're coming up dead now, but something, because even if your friends aren't sponsored, then you can still make videos, whether it's a how-to video or a little interview thing, or maybe there's a contest coming up near this town and they don't want to send somebody out there, so they know about you, maybe they'll ask you to do it, something like that. I never really got into filming all that type of bullshit, but I saw Francis do it, and that worked really well for him, and obviously the blogging and everything worked well for me. So
hell yeah,
I guess it would be get in with someone like that, because it isn't reliant on your friends getting sponsored.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And something that is really cool, the fact that you're bringing that up. I actually just launched my website last week, and my plan is to be a BMX media company for underrated riders in the BMX community, because I personally feel like, and like, I don't know, I personally feel that me sending stuff out, I always had such a hard time, because companies obviously have a standard. Like, they need to have the best of the best to be able to post. And I completely get that, but I feel like there's still a need for somebody to come out and say, like, hey, like, underrated riders need a voice too. Like, some of the people that don't get posted all the time are some of the best people in BMX, I would say.
For sure. I mean, I haven't even been checking the media sites much recently. I'm subscribed to everybody. I don't feel like I'm going to need to as much, but that was kind of my role at the come up, especially at the beginning, was doing a thing called the Oven, and that was all like the young dudes. And it would be like a little smaller post on the page, but you knew if it said like the Oven, that's like, maybe somebody more on your level, not, some new Nathan Williams part or something. So my deal was going through all the submissions into the email, or, if I could find it on probably Facebook at the time, or Instagram, whatever, and, posting those guys. So I definitely feel for you, and I always try to look for the next up and coming guy.
Hell yeah.
Whether I can benefit off of it, or I can just help them out, or, whatever. It's definitely all about trying to find the next guy, because I think that's how you age yourself real quick, is if you're just all caught up in your friends and your little scene, and all of a sudden you guys are 35. You never embraced anybody younger than you, and nobody likes to be all washed up. And obviously not fully for that reason. Similar to how I felt about not being able to figure out what a VX1000 was. Nobody responding to me. I know the feeling of watching my friends, not getting me shine. Obviously, it didn't take us very long to figure it out. We got in with the co-op and all that stuff, but I feel for all those guys who shred and don't get any shine.
Yeah, I think it's a hard part of BMX, but unfortunately, BMX is still so big that like you really got to prove yourself to be, the top 1%, as I like to say.
Yeah, I mean, you can be the best around them too, and if your personality sucks, I mean, a million people say nobody's gonna fuck with you. And on top of that, even if you are the best dude in the world and your riding is incredible, if you don't know the right people, you might not go anywhere either. So I think for everybody, get to know the right people, no matter how you got to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, man. And I think we're going to end it off here. That was awesome. This has been seriously the most fun that I've had in such a long time on the show. We got Ethan fucking doing drug deals in the background. We got you guys jumping cars and fucking needing to be in an Uber. Like, what other podcast can you come on where you're in the back of an Uber? You got Denim riding 110s. You got Ethan doing drug deals. You got Ethan taking pisses, everything. Yeah, this has been awesome.
Cool. I'm glad I could have.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we'll definitely get you guys back on again. I would absolutely love to do one where we have all four of us, but maybe we'll do that in person sometime. I think that could definitely happen in the next year or so.
Yeah, I mean, I know you want to get off this, but you said you're coming down here sometime?
At some point, yeah. We've got my girlfriend and I have some pretty big plans to fucking build basically a touring podcast bus and tour and talk with different BMX riders around the world. And that's kind of how we want to do the website. So that's why I'm doing it all now. I figure why not, support the Canadian scene and get this up and running and then move on and start doing this stuff in the States as well.
Dude, that's badass. Steve-O just started a brand.
Yeah, Steve-O's is really cool too. He's got a really cool podcast.
That's so sick, dude. I'm hyped for you. And doing this podcast in general is doing exactly what my golden rule per se is, which is get to know everyone you can, whether they're in a good position or not. I mean, you get to know everybody. So
hell yeah,
that's the best part about the podcast.
Fuck yeah. Well, thank you, man. But yeah, this has been awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Sauce, thank you for being our 43rd guest today. This has been incredible. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Thank you, man. Hey, give me a call.
Absolutely.
All right. See ya.